Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with SureCall. Today's host is Jason Hayes, the National Account Manager, and he'll say, if anyone has any questions, please fill them in the question box, and Jason will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Thank you, Jason, for being here today with us. We greatly appreciate it. The floor is now yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Julie. And yeah, we will always jump on the opportunity to present to the Microcom team. I'm still trying to plan a trip where I can get out there to meet more of you, but I know from the numbers and from my dealings with Dave and also with Julie that you have a great team. So congratulations on being part of a winning team. Thank you for the opportunity. And let's jump right into it. Today's presentation is a little bit of a rehash of a past presentation that I've done. It never hurts to review. And we're mainly going to focus on the most popular set of boosters that we have. And I know you're familiar with some of these. Some of this might be new information for some of you, but the topic is small home office options for boosting indoor cellular coverage. This is far and away on our consumer lineup, the most popular area that people always ask about. How do I get signal inside my house, my office, my cabin, my basement, my son or daughter's condo or college dorm? And so these are all areas where people oftentimes need a signal boost, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get right into it. What are the options that you can offer your customers for these types of areas? This is our consumer product in-building solutions lineup. And you can see left to right, we've got our Easy4G, our Flare, our Fusion for Home, which I know that most of you are very familiar with. You guys sell tons of these. And then, of course, our Fusion 5S. The Fusion for Home is definitely the top seller there, so you guys are on the right track. Your focus is absolutely correct. But keep in mind that each of these boosters serves a little bit different need in a little bit different area. And so even though the Fusion for Home is we definitely consider this our best value, the best solution out of the box, and the most bang for your buck, there are these other kits that serve a nice niche as well, and I'll get into each one of those. But I want you to keep in mind that all of SureCall's boosters are sold as complete kits, meaning they include the necessary cable, they include the necessary antennas, power supply, everything that the customer needs to make this function and work properly out of the box is included. It's all bundled as a complete kit. Also, all of these are FCC and Industry Canada approved, carrier approved and certified. They all include a 3-year warranty. And of course, every product that we produce includes our lifetime pre and post sales and tech support. So of course, when it comes to sales support, I'm your guy, and my information will pop up at the end of this presentation if you need it. If you have questions, call me. I travel quite a bit. Shoot me an email, and I'll be all over it. And of course, our tech support team is full-time, and they're at your disposal as well, or for your customers. So the first product I want to talk about is the Easy4G. The Easy4G, as you can see from this image, the outside antenna is what we call our signal catcher antenna. And this is specifically designed for those situations, which may be rare, but those situations where getting an antenna outside up on the roof is difficult or impossible. So the signal catcher antenna is the big round antenna there, and it's designed to be placed in a window where your customer might get a little bit of cell signal. So it literally catches that signal and brings it in. You then connect the coax, and then you see that little piece that looks like a Hershey's Kiss there. That is our inside antenna that transmits that boosted signal into the home or office. And so with this particular kit, the signal catcher antenna and the booster are actually built as a single unit. So this is one of our most plug-and-play kits that we have available. And of course, all of them that we're going to talk about today, boost signal for 3G, 4G, LTE, voice and data, any phone, any carrier. They're all carrier agnostic and will boost a cell signal universally to any device. So this is a quick diagram of how that EZ4G would be set up. You've got the signal catcher in the window there, and then using the included coax, we're connecting to that other piece, and then you just use the included power supply, plug it in, and you're good to go. The only rule of thumb that's really critical is you've got to have that 30 feet line of sight separation between the two antennas. And so the coverage area on this unit is about 2,000 square feet. MSRP is $349, and so this is the perfect solution for a small apartment, a college dorm, you know, even a basement if you don't want to get that outside antenna up on the roof. It's designed to go in the window, so it's a home run for a small home or office situation. The next product I want to talk about is the Flare. The Flare is very similar to the EZ4G. What we've kind of done is we've just kind of reversed everything. And so this one has this piece that, you know, I don't have a good image to show the scale of it, but it's about 6 to 8 inches tall. You know, very nice looking piece. And this is the central piece that you can put on a desk or a countertop, similar to the EZ4G that we just talked about. And this piece actually transmits that boosted signal into a small area in your home or office. You can see from our diagram here, this one includes an omnidirectional outside antenna. And, you know, up on the roof, the higher the better. It comes with a mounting bracket and a couple of bolts. And then, of course, the cable is included as well. But similar to the EZ4G, once you connect the outside antenna to the inside piece, you just plug it in and you're good to go. The coverage area on this one is a little bit more than the EZ4G. This will go up to 2,500 square feet, and the MSRP is about $50 more. So a couple of options there for smaller setups. And as I talk about coverage area, I know we've discussed this before, but I want you to keep in mind that the area of boosted coverage is totally determined by the starting signal, meaning if we're in a really remote cabin or an area where the signal is almost non-existent, that 2,500 square feet might diminish to 1,000 square feet or possibly even 500 square feet. And so the way I like to think of it is, you know, before we can splash around, we need a little bit of water. The more water, the better. So if we're in a situation where you walk out the front door of that home, that office, that cabin, and your signal is great, and maybe it's just being hindered inside because of a metal roof or a lot of concrete or something like that, you'll see this product perform exceptionally well, possibly even above and beyond that 2,500 square feet that I'm talking about. But with a weaker signal, you're going to get a smaller coverage area. It's just the way these work. So moving on to the one that I know you're all probably the most familiar with, the Fusion for Home. The Fusion for Home is, like I said, it's the most bang for your buck. This is the best value that we can offer, and it's tough to beat, which is why it's a top seller. You can see the picture here. I'm showing the booster, and you can see that we've got manual knobs for all of this. For the different bands, the LTE for AT&T and for Verizon, and then you've got your cellular, PCS, and AWS bands. None of those are anything that the customer necessarily has to mess with. You can just leave all those fully on, and it will boost signal for all of those and regulate itself. If there's an oscillation or if there's an overload or that kind of thing, it will power down or even shut off completely until it's in a situation where there's no more oscillation, and it'll kick itself back on. So this thing is a plug and play, set it and forget it, kind of a no-brainer type of a booster, but we do give the added ability to adjust manually. Because this boosts up to 4,000 square feet, you know, some customers may not want to boost anything for Verizon or for AT&T or what have you. And then, of course, this is a complete kit as well. It includes the Yagi, the directional antenna, which is our most powerful, and then it includes a panel antenna for the inside. And so you can see from our diagram kind of how those pieces go together. Coverage area is up to 4,000 square feet. And for $549 to boost most homes or offices, you know, that's really, really competitive. Keep in mind too that all of our boosters, I already mentioned this, come with a 3-year unconditional warranty. You know, we'll cover any kind of a malfunction or a problem within that 3-year period, and usually even beyond. But essentially the moral is you can sell this without fear for your customers. We will always stand behind you on service and support and returns and that kind of thing. So our main goal is to keep the customer happy. The last product that I want to talk about is the Fusion 5S. Very similar in look and feel to the Fusion for Home. This one's just a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier. Instead of 4,000 square feet of coverage, we're boosting up to 6,000 square feet of coverage, and we're including 2 panels with the Yagi. I want to talk just for a minute while I'm on the Fusion 5S about how these boosters work. Think of these like a repeater. We're taking the cell signal that's there, we're boosting it, and we're broadcasting it back out. Sometimes you might hear customers talk about or even ask you about, you know, well, what's the difference between this and like a femtocell or something like that? Carriers offer different solutions. A common one is a femtocell, something that piggybacks off of your Wi-Fi connection, voice over IP, that kind of thing. Typically, when a carrier gives a customer a solution like that, there's a monthly fee associated with it. There's a limited number of users. It's typically 3 or 4, and they have to be paired with that system. So if the system doesn't recognize your phone or your friend's phone, you're not going to get a signal boost in that area. These don't work that way. This Fusion 5S, for example, supports up to 8 simultaneous users, but nobody has to actually pair or connect to this system. Just by walking into that area, your phone's going to light up, your device is going to have a better cell signal, and your Wi-Fi is free and clear from any more encumbrance. So there's a lot of benefits to this, and of course there's no monthly fee associated. We're simply taking the carrier's cell signal and we're enhancing it so that it's more usable for everybody. So the Fusion 5S is a really powerful booster, unrivaled, cutting-edge technology, top performance. This is going to reduce dropped calls and missed calls, extend your voice, text, and data, just like all of our other systems. This thing covers up to 6,000 square feet, MSRP of $1099, and again, it's a complete plug-and-play kit out of the box. I wanted to throw up a slide about our technical support. We have a full-time in-house tech support. They're based in California, in Fremont, and so they're available 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. There's the phone number if you need to refer to it. I know Julie's going to have this available and probably post it on your website as well. So also, you have complete unfettered access to SureCall's digital asset library. I've included a link here. By going to this link, you can download any images, spec sheets, install diagrams, install guides, etc. I am working on a slide that will take you to our SureCall University, our YouTube channel, so that you can get further information and direct your customers to common Q&A, install videos, that kind of thing. Taking one of these systems out of the box, setting it up, and kind of walking through how it works. So we're doing a lot with our YouTube channel now, and in future presentations I'll have a link to that as well. I'm going to just open the floor for questions now, and any questions you have, I'll do my best to answer those.
Thank you very much, Jason, for that presentation. Enjoyed it very much. And it looks like we do have some questions for you. So let me go ahead and get started. I believe this first one is referring to the Fusion 5S. Who is the biggest competitor for a similar product?
Probably our biggest competitor for that type of product would be Wilson Electronics, or WeBoost is what they're known as right now, and it would probably be a Wilson Pro 70 Plus or something like that. They've got a couple of variations. The big difference between that Wilson product and ours, number one, ours is priced a little bit better. Number two, the Wilson Pro 70 and Pro 70 Plus are the chassis, the case of that booster is plastic, whereas you could see from our image, ours is metal. You know, it's got the metallic heat sink and all that, and so it's definitely more durable, more rugged, more powerful. The other big difference, and you'll probably, your customers won't ever have an opportunity to do this, but we actually do this on our YouTube channel, where we pull a couple of boosters apart, and I'm not going to say whose booster it is, and we don't on the video either, but we take a competitor's booster and we open it up and we look at the guts, and then we do the same thing with the SureCall booster. I believe it's the Fusion 5S. And it's very, very telling. I don't know that much about the inner workings of circuit boards, but as you look at the circuit board of the competitor's booster, it's almost indistinguishable from a circuit board that you might find inside of an alarm clock or any kind of an electronic device. The SureCall booster, has ceramic filters separating the electronic components for each and every frequency that we're boosting. And that is critical when you're boosting signal, to keep those signals separate from one another, to keep them clean and filtered so that there's no overlap. It makes for a cleaner voice sound, a cleaner boost when you're boosting voice as well as data. So the SureCall booster has a lot of those kind of differences that set us apart and make it just a more elegant solution. It's literally a set it or forget it. With a lot of competitors' boosters, and I would say specifically WeBoost, it's just a cleaner solution. I have a lot of customers that say, I set up the WeBoost, the lights come on, everything is good for a week or maybe two, and then every once in a while I notice that I'm having to go out and adjust the position of my antenna because the incoming signal has changed just a little bit, which happens. And so when you have these ceramic filters and you really do it right from the get-go, the customer shouldn't have to mess with the position of the antennas. The booster compensates for a lot of that fluctuation by itself. I know that's a little bit of a lengthy answer, but I hope that helps.
That was excellent. Thank you, Jason. I'm going to go on to the next question. So the question is this going to increase 3G and 4G connection?
The answer to that is yes, absolutely. So 3G in most areas is just voice, and the 4G is where your data comes in. And so yeah, all of these boosters boost 3G, 4G, LTE, voice and data for everybody, every carrier in North America. So definitely all inclusive.
Thank you for that. Let me go on to our next question. For example, if we have a 10,000 square feet on a project, can one simply combine the units together and use 4 of them? That would cover 2,500, I think, square feet each, or is there a customizable option that we would go with?
Yeah, the answer is yes. We have all of the above. So any of the options that I've talked about today are stackable, meaning you could incorporate 2 or 3 or 4, as many as you needed. Let's say you have a 10,000 square foot building, and maybe you can't get an antenna on the roof, and so you just want to divide that building up into 2,500 square foot sections and install, say, an easy 4G in each section. You can absolutely do that. The only thing you've got to keep in mind is that 30 feet of separation between antennas still applies. If you get those systems overlapping too closely, the antennas will try to talk to each other, and it's a lot like a microphone being too close to an antenna. You'll get some feedback, and so Other than that, yes, you can definitely do that, especially with a Fusion for Home or a Fusion 5S. People do that kind of thing all the time, and it works really well. For a 10,000 square foot building, my recommendation would be a Fusion 5X, which is our Fusion 5 Extreme. So it's that one actually boosts right around 10 or 12,000 square feet, and would cover that. And then we've got, boosters that I'm not covering today that are the larger scale ones. And so let your customers know that SureCall makes boosters for larger buildings too. We have a Force 5 that boosts up to about 25,000 square feet. And so we really, anything under, say, 250 or 300,000 square feet, we have solutions and we can customize and really take care of a signal boost for any venue that they come across that's within that range. So we're here to boost their signal. We don't get into the big DAS stuff, and that's why I say 300,000 square feet or less. But short answer, absolutely. You can stack these things, you can install multiples inside a building, or you can reach out to me and I'll recommend something that's maybe a better fit for a larger area.
Thank you very much, Jason. Can you tell us where these products are manufactured?
Yeah, all of our products are manufactured. The owner of our company actually owns a factory just outside of Hong Kong in a place called Shenzhen, and we have them shipped to our home office there in Fremont. I used to work at Wilson or WeBoost for about 11 years, and we really prided ourselves on the fact that all of our stuff was made in the USA. The reality is, even at WeBoost, where we say made in the USA, everything's manufactured in China. All the components come from China, and we just assembled the components in Utah. And so, yeah, our factory is in China. We get all the parts from China. We assemble them in China and then ship them here. But I think, everyone that's tried one of these will agree the quality is bar none, above and beyond anything that you'll find out there.
Jason, let me go on to the next question here. Does the flare also come with a mounting kit?
Yes, good question. The flare does include a mounting kit for the outside antenna. It's a U bracket, a mounting bracket, and I believe a little a pole assembly as well, so that you can mount it to the eave of the roof. Yes.
Thank you very much. In regards to the Fusion 4, how many users does it support at one time?
Great question. Let me just back up. The Fusion for Home, I want to say I have it on the slide, but if I didn't, I apologize. There it is. The Fusion for Home, just like the Fusion 5S, supports 8 simultaneous users, which for a 4,000 square foot area is, pretty above and beyond. That's an abundant number of users. Even for a pretty large home, to have 8 people on the phone at the same time is rare, I would say.
Thank you for that. Is there a list of supported mobile carriers for the boosters?
We don't have a comprehensive list of supported carriers. It's essentially, we do that by frequency, and the frequencies that we boost incorporate all carriers in the US and Canada. So all of the North American carriers would be boosted by our product. It's essentially that 700 to 2700 megahertz frequency range.
Thank you very much. Last question here. Would you be willing to tag Microcom Technologies or one of our sales account managers, Stephen Brown, on social media to help generate more business together?
Great question. Absolutely. Let me write down his name, Stephen Brown, and then I'll connect with Dave or Julie, and we'll definitely tag him on something. That's something that our marketing department does all the time and would love to do. So I will make that happen. Great question. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for answering all those questions, Jason. We very much enjoyed your presentation. And thanks to everyone for attending today's webinar. And if anyone has any further questions, of course, feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown today, please visit us at www.microcom.us. And remember, this webinar presentation has been recorded and it will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so you can view it again. Thank you again, Jason. We appreciate it. Everybody have a fantastic day.
Thanks again, everybody.
You are welcome.